Hello and welcome back to our Business Owners Growth System. My name is Gary Robertson, and at the moment we're going through that sequence of our Business Owners Growth System, showing you how you can create quite a lot of business for yourself. And we've covered lots of things already, so please, I would encourage you to go back through our other videos and just binge watch in order. There's no point watching number 4 before number 1, 2, and 3. And we are talking about prospecting today. Now, prospecting is brilliant. And if you gamify it and make it more fun, it won't be scary. So make it more fun. Embrace prospecting and you will get your dreams, your goals, your aspirations. Now, prospecting is all about creating a pipeline. And you get as many prospects as you can into your pipeline. And some will say yes, and some will say no, and some will say maybe. That's what a pipeline is. And when we talk about prospecting, we're talking about a lot of different reach out methods. So in this video, we're going to talk about business networking, but you may also use social media as a way of getting people into your pipeline. You may do direct mailing or cold calling. There's a whole different array of ways in which you can get people into your pipeline. And then once you've tried a load of them, you'll find out the ones that work for you. Now, today we're going to talk about business networking, one of my favorite ways of getting business. And I call this a high payoff activity. If you send out emails, that's a low payoff activity. This is a high payoff activity. And I'm going to say something now, and it is not to impress you, but to impress upon you. I've definitely generated over £500,000 from business networking alone. And I've never done a single deal within a business networking meeting. And there's a top tip there. You're not going to a business networking session to do a deal. You're going there to build your own referral network. So we're going to talk about business networking today. And the first thing I want to share with you is the importance of being ACE. Vitally important. ACE stands for being a person with authority, conviction, and enthusiasm. Authority in more than one thing. Authority in what you do, and authority in business networking. You need to learn this skill. And within our Business Owners Growth System, we're going to give you top tips on how to learn the skill. Now, when you learn the skill and you feel good about yourself, you're going to speak with conviction and enthusiasm. And the last 4 letters of enthusiasm are IASM. I am sold myself. And you also want to be conscious of your brand. I'm not talking about just business cards or fancy logos. How do you come across? Are you going into a networking meeting looking unprofessional? I'm not even talking about your attire right now. I'm talking about how do you conduct yourselves? How do people perceive you? Are you a vulture? Are you going in there just to get business? Or are you a genuine networker who's going to put something back into the network? We'll cover more about that in just a session. But you've got to be mindful of your brand. Arrive early all of the time. On time isn't on time in networking or in many facets of business. On time is half an hour before. If you're going to a networking meeting, you're going there because what you want to do is you want to create connections. And I found that whenever I went to physical networking meetings, I loved the bit before. You get there nice and early, you find somebody to speak to, and then other people start to come in. And what happens is other people start to migrate to groups of people. So if you're the first one there and you've got another person speaking to you, then people will generally migrate to you, and that makes you look really popular. So we're going to cover off things about how to create those connections, how to arrange one-to-ones within the business networking event, and then post-event, we're going to show you how to create a really good presentation when you do your one-to-one. So this is pretty simple stuff, but what I'm going to do now is just go back a little bit and give you some top tips on how you can be ACE. So remember, ACE stands for authority, conviction, enthusiasm. The first way you can be ACE is to learn how to network. And within our Business Owners Growth System, you will get loads of tips, loads of documents to help you craft an elevator pitch, loads of ways in which you can develop a really good presentation. And within our community and with help of our mentors, you can get tips on how you can become even better. Don't just rock up to a networking event and expect to be good. It's just not going to happen. This is a learned skill. If you don't learn the skills, you will not get better and you will not get results. And frankly, you'll be wasting not just your time, but the time of others that are in that meeting. So let's go to when you get in there and you start to speak to people, which, by the way, may be uncomfortable until you get to know people. And that is perfectly normal. Until you get to know people, you're going to feel uncomfortable. But if you do go to a business networking event and you know people, of course go and say the hellos to those, but don't be tied to them because you want to speak to other people. You go and speak to somebody with empathy, with genuine interest in what they do, who they are, have they family members, have they hobbies. Little things like, hey, how are you doing? My name's Gary. And they say, oh, my name's Josephine, whatever. Hey, Josephine, what do you do for a living? I do this, this, this. Oh, fantastic. And are you married? Are you, what hobbies do you do? Where do you live? Oh, that's really interesting. Just be chitty-chatty nicely. Now, when they say what they do, generally what happens is people talk too much and they waffle. You see, they're not as good as you. They're not professional like you. They're not ace like you. You see, you've gone there with a carefully crafted elevator pitch. Something that you can learn, and sometimes you'll be able to mold it and adapt it. But you've learned it so that when somebody says to you, what do? You can tell them exactly what you want them to hear. So let's have an example. Somebody says to me, what do you do? I could say, well, I'm a freelance chief commercial officer. What that means is I go into businesses, I increase their sales with a differing array of strategies, I implement processes, automations, and certainly use AI now. I reduce their costs, I make them more profitable, and once I've done my job, I shake hands with them and I go on to my next client. And I like clients who generally have turnovers in the region of 500,000 to 1.5 million because genuinely I can double their turnover and their profits within the first 18 months. So that's what I do. And you can do whatever you want with your elevator pitch, but I've kind of thrown a few things in there. I've told them what I do, sounds pretty good, and who also I'm looking for. So I've given my elevator pitch. They've told me what they do, but they've waffled. Next thing I want to do is I want to arrange that one-to-one. Now, I kind of think that business cards are going out of fashion, especially if you're doing lots of online meetings. You can't pass out an online business card unless you've got those virtual ones. So what I like to do is I like to arrange my one-to-ones at the event. Now, the way you can do this, if you are in-person event, you can just say to me, look, how about we have a one-to-one? You can tell me what you do. I'll show you what I do so we can refer each other with confidence. Boom! That is something you need to learn. How about we have a one-to-one? You tell me what you do. I will show you what I do so we can refer each other with confidence. Have I said that before? You can tell me what you do. I will show you what I do so we can refer each other with confidence. It's a learned skill, okay? And they say, yeah, that'd be great. Now, what I would recommend is you have your own online diary management system. With Boggs Digital, I have my own one. So what I can do then is I can get them to send them a link to my calendar there and then. Now there are some things I want to do really, really important to the process is I want to get their details. One way I do it is I open up my LinkedIn app. Most business owners are on LinkedIn. Go to the top, click the little button at the top, and they can either scan my QR code or I can scan their QR code and we connect on LinkedIn. So I'll say, are we connected? Yeah, we're connected. Fantastic. And then you do the same with WhatsApp. Oh, let's change numbers on WhatsApp. Same thing on WhatsApp. Boom, boom. And then you connect on WhatsApp. So now I've connected to them on LinkedIn. I've got their WhatsApp number and also we've arranged that one-to-one. All within a really quick period of time. Move on to the next person, same thing. Oh, what do? Do all of that stuff again. Arrange the one-to-one. Move on to somebody else. Arrange the one-to-one. So you want to pack your diary with at least one one-to-one every single day of the working week. And the purpose of those one-to-ones is that when you go and see them, I have a rule: I never meet for more than 1 hour, whether it's online or face-to-face. Get in there and make sure they talk the most. So find out more about them. Ask them more about their family. Ask them more about their hobbies. Do they enjoy what they're doing? Ask them what they do. They will then come on and waffle. And typically, my one-to-ones go on for about an hour, but 45 minutes of them are where they've done all of the talking. And then I say, well, let me just, before we bring the meeting to an end, let me tell you what I do. And they go, oh gosh, I'm really sorry. I've been talking all about myself. I said, no, it's been genuinely interesting. As you can see, I've taken loads of notes because I do write down loads of notes, really important. Bill Clinton, the President of the United States, was brilliant at that. He got somebody writing notes for him when he was speaking to them, and then when he went anywhere else and he saw them again, they'd have a cue card. And, oh, this is Gary Robertson. Yeah, he's a freelance chief commercial officer. Oh, yeah. And it makes you feel really important because Bill Clinton, the president, remembered me. Well, he didn't actually. It was just a cue card. But the idea there is when it's your turn to do the presentation, use these words. And we cover this off in the Business Owners Growth System. We've got loads of documents to help you. But what I then say is it okay if I show you my presentation, the one that I would share with anybody that you refer to me? And I do this because I want you to be able to refer me with confidence. So what I'm about to share with you now is what I would do exactly with your customers. And they go, yeah, lovely. And then with my tablet, my phone or whatever, I have a presentation prepared, run through that presentation. It highlights my background, highlights what I do. I increase sales, use all these different techniques, implement automations, including AI, I reduce costs, make them more profitable. Then I have some testimonials in there from people who say, oh, Gary's done loads of work for me. And then I have my ideal customers somewhere between 500,000 and 1.5 million, because I can generally double their profits within 18 months. So that's all in my presentation. I do that to them. No longer than 7 minutes, by the way. Do the presentation. I say, look, so if you do refer people to me, this is the presentation I do. And by the way, if you do hear people who are ambitious and they want to grow their business, or maybe their business is struggling because they maybe just don't have all the process in place, can you just say to them, you've met me, I'm a nice guy, I'm worth 20 minutes, and I've got a cracking track record in helping businesses. So I kind of ask them to set me up as well. And when you do all of this, you go into a business networking meeting early. You look presentable. You are ace. You're speaking with authority, conviction, enthusiasm. That elevator pitch is just on point. You arrange those one-to-ones, high-payoff activities. Then you do that presentation with them. What's going to happen is you're going to create your very own referral network. And this is the big thing. You're not selling to them. You're looking at those 6 degrees of separation. So they go out into their world. And if you've done 5 in a week, remember we're going to do 1 a day. That's 20 in a month. Over the course of a year, you've got 100 people within your referral network. And every so often they throw something to you. And every so often you throw something to them. You give them referrals. They will keep referring you. Someone can phone you up and say, Gary, I've spoken to a friend of mine, Alex, would really want a chat with you. Business is going okay, but they believe they can do better. They're struggling with this. Of course, I'm more than happy to have a presentation with Alex. A one-to-one with Alex. And when I have my one-to-one with Alex, I do the presentation that I've already shown my prospect from the business networking. And it makes things really slick. You become increasingly efficient and effective. You look good. So I'm going to bring this to a close right now, but I do want you to do a couple of things for me. First of all, binge watch all of those videos on YouTube. Please subscribe to our channel. Like, share, whatever. If you're not already within the Lylop community, go to lylop.com, register free for one of our fortnightly networking events. Join the community. You're going to get loads of top tips from us to help you to live a healthier, wealthier, and happier life. Thank you very much.